Continue. Okay, I think we can start, and then hopefully more people will join. So today we are finishing module 3, and we will start with module 4. And so let me do a little bit of housekeeping. There is something I forgot to open in module 3, one discussion forum, so you could share your personal workflow. So I have added, let me, I have added in the active discussion forums. There is a new forum that I simply add the 3.5, so you can post your best practices. You created a personal workflow, and everyone can you can share with everyone else, so people can take a look of your products. Okay, so please fill in that information that is here. All right. And I saw a lot of activities in the forum discussion forums, different experiences. Thanks for sharing your activities results. And also, I saw a couple of interactions amongst yourselves, so it's good. I think it's a good practice, and everyone can learn from everybody else. Okay. All right. All right. So once I set that clear, please don't forget about filling this 3.5. And for module 4, I have opened 4 forums plus the general questions. And also, I have changed the template. The template, I I did the same, where I have posted like initial text, so you can try to copy it. But also here, there's a new section here you can open, and here you can just copy the code, so you don't have to just copy and then everything is not very well pasted. But here is just the markdown code. So if you copy this and then you open a new page and paste it, you will automatically have the code. So let me copy it, and then I can add a new page, for example, new page, and just gonna call it test, and then just paste the content, and it will just preview as markdown. Okay, so that thing will make it easier for you. So that's one thing that will facilitate you in writing your notes. So I'm going to discard this. Yes. Okay. I'm going to close this. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. or you can just do it the way you were doing it, but this can ease up your tasks. Okay. For those who are still unfamiliar with Markdown, Markdown is just a combination of text and some small commands. You don't have to learn everything on your first day, or this is how we write tables, right? This is a two-column table. These things denote that the contents will be merged to the left, okay, or aligned to the left. And the description is just going to be happening, will be just boldface. And then these are just lists. Remember that double asterisk are just boldface. And I think you already know this, but and also you can combine with Markdown, you can combine small HTML commands. This is a line break. Okay, so this since I was creating an empty table, I just put some line breaks to create the table. Okay, so it should be straightforward. And then this is how it displays. Okay. Okay, so that's a little change. Remember that I'm putting all the templates in the wiki for the spring 2026, summer 2026 AI Campus Champions. And also remember that here is the participants progress page. Console. Okay. And here is the participants progress page where people or everyone is annotating their advances. And we have one participant that is almost done. Kathy, congrats. I saw your wiki, so it's complete. Thank you. And everyone else is noting their advances. Okay, so that's good. And everyone can, since this is an open course, everyone see and share their learning experiences. So you can visit other uh, pages from your peers and then see how they are writing and solving the different activities. So that's one thing that we can take advantage of. Okay, so let me go back to the notes. Okay, any questions there? Anything that we need to address? Okay, so let me present some notes. Also, I've been working with these other two sections, AI and society collections, and the AI tools and tutorials. So these are support materials. The AI tools and tutorials, I'm focusing on different. Well, you have a list of all the generative AI tools that we have been using, like Cloud Desktop, or there's a new tool called Cloud Science, which allows you to, will help you do research. So this is, it just came out last week or a couple of days ago, and it will let you, I mean, it will try to help you do your research. So it's very complete. I have not explored. I just saw the announcement, so please feel free to explore it. So that's a new tool from Anthropic, the Cloud Science. And then the usual Gemini and Notebook LM. And also, I would suggest you can start using more Notebook LM to do summaries and do infographics or do initial presentations, and then you can just start from there. So whenever you have lots of different documents, then you can just create your own Notebook LM session, like I'm doing. So I have been using it for, okay. So I have uploaded all the different documents, and then I can focus on specific document and then probably ask questions for that document, right? So you can select one or two or a couple of documents. Okay. So that's, please feel free to explore Notebook LM if you haven't yet. It's very useful. And this this tool just focuses on the sources you give it. So it won't go out and try to get new information. It will try to, whatever question you ask this system, it will come back with an answer and also give the pointers to where in the document was this mentioned or something. Okay, so it's a good reference, and you can create as many notebooks as you wish, and also you can share some notebooks. Okay, so it's like Google Drive but for doing AI. Okay, going back. Okay, and then let me go back. No, not this. Too many windows open. Okay. And then, well, some people may already be interacting with the Gen AI platform from the university where you can find several models from different companies. And also U of A AI Verde, which is designed for helping professors teaching some specific courses. So this platform allows you to share with your students. Just it's going to be like a notebook LM. You can upload your syllabus and all the documentation about your course, so your students can have conversations with that specific group of documents. So it's very useful. If somebody wants to try it, please let me know and we can try to support you. And also, we have been talking about large language models, and if you are not familiar, um, there are more models in the world right now. So there's this place, it's called a platform called Hugging Face, and it has around 2,888,000 models. Remember that the models, like one model from Anthropic, Claude, for example, it will have different versions and also different sizes. And these are the type of tasks you can do with these large language models. You want to generate text, or you want to extract text from an image, or from an image create another image, or from text create a video, or from an image create a text, or text to image, text to speech. And so there's many applications you can use in different fields. Multimodal means that the model is adapted to different modes like text, video, images. You can do computer vision or natural language processing, audio, tabular, um, reinforcement learning, and so on. So there's like almost 2.9 million models, and every model there will have, uh, for example, the model card. So let me look for example, this is DeepSeek. This DeepSeek is a Chinese model, and it will have the technical report an introduction what the model is, and also it will describe all the different properties and cases. And then you will see that for each model, there are different versions. So this is the number of parameters that were used, or weights they were used to train the models. And so depending on the amount of parameters, that will be the different sizes of the models. Okay, so it's a very, very useful site to know if you are going into depth with more large language models. And there's a place in the internet which is called the leaderboard. Margie, it's a general link to all models. The page for the course is the wiki. This is the tiny URL. And then we have been talking about one of the pages, which is the tools and tutorials. And from here, I'm talking about the different tools that we have to use. Okay. And
It
so
was
there
just before that. It looked like it was a list. It was just before you were talking about this and showing us this. Sorry
there's
to interrupt.
no, it's okay.
And it
Was it
looked like it was a list of all the modules and a link.
wasn't the
It,
forums? No,
yes,
was
thank
it?
you. And someone dropped it in the chat.
Okay. All
Appreciate
right.
that.
Okay, so we were talking about tools and tutorials, and I found this image illustrative, so I put it there. The difference between generative AI, deep learning, neural networks, machine learning, and AI. Okay, and so the Hugging Face is a platform where you can find all the different models, different sizes and versions, and historic versions. So ChatGPT has had ChatGPT 3.0, then 4.1, 4.5, etc. So everything is there. And then there's this leaderboard arena where you can see the performance for different models. So right now, for example, well, Anthropic has put this Fabled 5 out. So this right now is the most powerful model from Anthropic. And then you have Opus, also from Anthropic. Then you have GPT 5.5. From Anthropic, you have Opus 4.7 and Opus 4.7 thinking. Okay. And then you have Anthropic Sonnet 5, and then the different models from GPT 5.5, 5.4, and this GLM, I don't remember who makes that, and then GPT, another Chinese. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to see what is the top rated models for text, you have Claude Fable 5, Claude Opus 4.6 thinking, and Claude Opus 4.7 thinking, the Claude Opus 4.6, and this is the rating. Okay. And you can see how Anthropic has lead with their models compared to Google Gemini, for example, or OpenAI GPT. For web development, well, this is the ratings. For vision, for document analysis, and text to image, image edition, etc. So this is the leaderboard, and you can see how models are performing and how people are rating them. Okay, so so that's the leader overview. If you have any, if you want to know exactly how models are being rated by the different users. Okay, so there's a lot of models you can use, but of course, for our daily tasks, maybe we just need to handle two or three models depending on the tasks, because the different models perform differently for different tasks. And we have to know more or less after experience what would be a model to use if you want to do a specific task. Okay. All right, and then some tutorials that were already there. Um, and we have been using prompt engineering a little bit, and there's some materials that we have created in the last 2 years uh, since ChatGPT came out on November 2022. Okay, and you can find a lot of different sections for prompt engineering, for example, and then how to write prompts and the different um, sections here: ethics, education, research. So for prompts, prompt engineering, you just select this, and you will have an introduction to prompt engineering. Okay, and all the different uh, tasks you can do with uh, with the different models, like documents. Claude can handle PDFs, text and code. ChatGPT PDFs, images and data, etc. Okay. Okay, so you can explore some tutorials that there already there. And here we have some historical training resources on data sciences and ML, which is more in depth. So so this is our previous history of different um, trainings that we did. So you can explore them. And okay, so you have more things to explore. And then I try to put all the different talks we have been doing in the AI info sessions, and also some specific trainings for different offices. So, for example, um, from last year, um, AI in public health, you will find these notes on how to analyze data with low code or no code. And you will find different um, tools you can use. Okay, so just a general description of the different tools you can use for this is for literature review or for data collection surveys, um, and all these different tools that are just low code for analyzing data. Okay. And then if you're going to do research, then you have all these different tools like Connected Papers, Elicit, Perplexity, PubMed, Central, Research Rabbit, SciSpace, Cite, Semantic Scholar, and for generating ideas, well, basic large language models, and etc. So the resources are there. You can explore and see um, what is available. And also, I may say that the university has an agreement with Google. So we have a program which is called Google AI Accelerator Program. And these are courses that were developed by Google, and they are hosted in Coursera. And we have an agreement so we can register if you want to take any courses from these certificates like AI fundamentals, AI for data analysis, AI for brainstorming and planning, AI for content creation, AI for research and insights, or AI for app building, or AI for writing and communicating, please send me an email and I can register you. Or if you have a cohort or you want to help me um, organize a cohort and send me a list of 20 people who are willing to start, then we can register you. And then after you finish every course, just let me know and then I'll register you. I'll register you in the next one. We have a limited number of licenses, so we have to be doing all the different licenses administration. Okay, so please spread the word. Um, and then the general guidances for the U of A. These are the agreements of Microsoft and Google. So we know that if we are using Microsoft Copilot or we're using Google Gemini using our Arizona EDU account, then there is some privacy in those applications. And so whatever we upload there is not going to be used for training the models. But remember that there's still more information we cannot just upload like private information or student information or not even HIPAA information. Okay. And then there's a list of small different um, learning resources from the libraries or UCAT. If you have more information, just let me know and we can add it here. And then, okay, so this is the tools and tutorials. And then the other one is AI and society collections. So I started collecting some information to share on this topic. So I'm just starting to populate. If you have information or sections that you want them to be included, please let me know. So, for example, in education, there's this student guide from to AI from Elon University, and then this study from California State University, um, guidelines from UNESCO, and this guidance for Arizona schools from the Arizona Institute for Education and Economy at NAU. See. Okay. All right. So continue. Um, any questions? All right. Okay. So I talked about what is new in our portal, and I'm going to jump to what we are doing. So we just finished module 3 on AI for productivity, and there are a couple of references we reviewed. One was about the cyborgs and centaurs and self-automators. Um, let me get the slideshow going. And I saw there was a question in the discussion forums telling where you were going to describe your experiences and how you think your basically most of your tasks are if you are a cyborg and or you are a centaur. Um, can you please someone share your experiences? I saw a lot of discussion in the forums. Do you think that we should lean to one model or the other, or what is your experiences? Anyone? No one? Did you just copy paste into discussion forums, or did you did something? Grant, you seem to be disagreeing. Okay, please share.
Thing. I think in the discussion forum I talked about how I don't think I'm one or the other. It really depends on the task. Um, how if it's for like administrative work, I think it really needs to be Centaur for me at least because it's things that it knows how to do and I give it specific tasks. Whereas if I'm doing ideating or creating a training, which I do weekly, um, I do more of a cyborg. If I'm just going on my own tangents with AI, it's more cyborg. But when it's work related, it tends to be more
Mhm.
Centaur.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I saw a couple of comments there also about trying to do algebra or math with large language models for doing statistics, for example, computing the mean or standard deviation. Um, the models are not very good for doing math um, yet. So you have to do a lot of chain of thought in order to teach the model what is the process to get a result. But if you're doing data analysis, the models are not very good for doing analysis. What the models are doing actually is just generating code. Can be in R, can be in Python, or can be even JavaScript or some other. Um, so what you can do if you want to do data analysis is to say, well, I have this table or this spreadsheet, and ask the model to generate a script in Python or R, whatever language you are more familiar with, and then ask for the code to analyze and obtain. Then you just list, I want to get average, I want to get standard deviation, I want to make a histogram, I want to do box plot, or I want to do violin plots. And then the model will give you the code and it will analyze the data because you have uploaded the table or the Excel spreadsheet, and then the code will analyze the data and produce the graphics. For example, if you're using Claude, if you're using Gemini, it will just give you the code, and then you have to run the code somewhere else. Like for example, in Jupyter, in Google Colab, you can run your Python code, or mm, or if you have R code, then you just do RStudio or POSIT Connect. So that's the way. There's a way of doing it. Okay. Okay. And remember that when we are using large language model, it's just a conversation. It's not just a single question and then accept everything that comes out from the model. And in the next module, we will be more critical about the outputs coming out from the large language models. Okay, so that's going to be our next uh, module. What about the jagged AI frontier? Deciding when to use or when not to use AI. Can somebody comment about that? What are your experiences? Should I choose someone? Gina, you just smiled. So, please.
Um, I think, well, I usually start AI with just brainstorming and say, if I were to use this tool with whoever I'm talking to, whichever AI, how would you approach it, or what would you do, or what do you think I could do, and so that I could see, where they would go, and if that's even in the direction I'd want, and if it's completely out of it, then it's easy for me to say, okay, maybe AI isn't a good way to use a tool for this task. Um, But otherwise, it's anything that I have that's reading based AI, I think is pretty good to use because it's really
Mhm.
good at summarizing, explaining, and teaching you. Um, so anything that's text based or reading based. But a lot of the math that I do, I, I don't know really how to use AI really well with that.
Mhm.
With I don't know if it's proper to call what I do data analysis, but that's what I think it definitely heads there if it's not that.
So you're doing like statistics or what type of analysis?
Well, a lot we, we analyze the compensation based on market, based on other departments at the U of A, based on,
Mhm.
a whole
Okay.
bunch of different points, but it's
Yeah. Okay.
it's basic analysis. It's not anything like we do use some statistical analysis, some regression, but we don't go beyond that,
Okay.
or at
There's
least I
another.
don't.
Yeah. So when we are handling like specific records, like say human resources records, or then we cannot expect that the large language model will help you analyze in a strict way to extract specific information. So we have to combine NLP. We have to combine text extraction using NLP. So there, that in that way, you have strict rules, strict scripts. So every time you get the same results, just changing the different documents, but you have a scheme, what exact information you want to extract. Once you know in specific records where the information is residing. So it's not just simple large language models. We have to combine NLP, and then it's called information extraction using large language models. So we have to work a little bit more, not just have Claude to do all the work or Gemini to do all the work. Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we continue. So I saw some of your comments. Every time you write in the forum, I get an email copy, so I'm reading everything. Okay, so continue. Um, and remember that to fill this 3.5, your best practices, typo there, sorry. And now the next module is about critical thinking. And well, there's going to be two main papers we're going to read. And we will see that all the models have some bias, and models are not fair sometimes, and there are some epistemic limits. So usually models are trained with text, but the text is not curated. So the text, for example, some of the models have been trained using Reddit. Reddit is just a social platform forum where people just discuss different topics, and it's not curated. People can say about anything. And then there are some models, like for example, Grok, which is from X or Twitter. It has been training using all the different discussions in X or Twitter. So sometimes the interactions are more heavy bias toward specific types of thinking or ideology. So the models will inherit all the different biases from the conversations. And in this bias, for example, some models, if you ask to to give you a story about a doctor, for example, the model may have the bias that assuming that any doctor will be male. Or if you talk about nurses, then you will think about nurses being female. So they have a gender bias, they have race bias, and also uh, and there's some documents there you're going to read about the gender shades. Let me see the next paper. Okay. So this is the gender chase and intersectional AI bias. So there are a couple of experiments there about trying to predict or classify, and um, they will have different results. So that will just show you the different bias beneath the models, and also there is some besides cultural bias. So if you ask, for example, if I say close your eyes and imagine a tree, and then ask your large language model to give you an image of a tree, uh, it will every model will give you a different image of a tree, and even the same prompt will give you different images of trees. But then you can say, well, but it's not the tree I was imagining. I live in Arizona, and then you give more context, and then the models will try to give you a different image of a tree, but now in a desert environment. So the models have something inherent in them that is going to be the reflection of the materials they were trained on. And in the next paper, which is the Parrot one, the large language models, the way they are trained, so you give them a text, and the text, it has to be split into different pieces of word called tokens, and then the tokens are mapped into a large database where every piece of word has a location, and then in that database, all the words that are close to that single word will have like an environment or neighborhood of words. And then when you ask a question, it will go to that sector in the vector space and will try to extract words around that neighborhood. So it will give you something that sounds like an answer, but the model has no idea what is the meaning of the answer. Okay, so they learn how to memorize words, but they have no clue about the meaning of the word. So they can just hallucinate. Remember the extrinsic hallucinations, but also you may have bias in all that. Okay, and so you will read about the stochastic parrot, and meaning that, well, the large language models do not know about the meaning; they only know about the form. And it's going to be an interesting paper to read. So I can show you, for example, if we have time, can show you, for example, how a large language model works. So let me, uh, well, let's get this. And I'm going to go back to, I think, yes, no, not this one. Okay. Let me navigate back. So there's a simulator of a large language model. I think here, no, it's not here. It's in the other one. In this one, AI collections. So there's a transformer simulator here, visual transformer. I don't know if you have explored it, but this is how the large language models work. And this is the technology behind, but simply this is the phrase: data visualization empowers users to, and then every word um, activates what is the next word. So let me, the next word will be data visualization empowers users to, And then the next word probably is going to be C because has this probability, but also um, can be used to create. So let me back this up. So it's just computing what's the next probability of the next word is.
Is this for you can adjust the temperature so that it could pick visualize?
Yeah, the temperature will just how much creative you want. So the data visualization empowers users to use to see, visualize, or um, this is change the probability of the next word. Okay, right? So these are parameters that you can play with. Uh, so a temperature of 0 is very strict, and a temperature of 2 will be like for writing poems, very creative. Okay, but if you are trying to extract information, the temperature should be close to 0 to be exact. Okay, so and then you generate the next word to see visualize data. What's the next word? And then what's the next word? Uh, so it's creating the phrase in is the next word because the probability is 63%. So data visualization empowers users to see visualize data in real, has the highest probability in real time or real, yeah, time has 94%. So this is the way large language models are generating a phrase. So depending on what is the previous word or what is they have another mechanism which is called attention. So it's keeping track of how the phrase is being composed, but it's just probability. If I change the one of the parameters, maybe uh, the next word is different, right? No, not this one. Okay, no. Okay, the next word was data. Data visualization empowers users to see visualize data in real data. Well, doesn't make too much sense, but anyway. And then what's the next word? There is just the next word is just point a dot, so it's going to end the phrase. So this is you can explore how large language models work. They tell you that large language models are just probabilistic models. So that's why you give the model a prompt and every time will generate a different answer. It's just like throwing dice. Every time you throw a dice, it will get you a different answer. Okay? So that's something you can explore. All right. Okay, so going back, going back. So that's the document about the stochastic paradigm. So you can see, and also you will see all the different parts for the for things that we have to take to account, like energy, or we know that large language models require a lot of energy. Um, and then um, and then there's a sections which is focused on harms and risks. So the model absorbs the bias, also may amplify the bias, and also can, if you're using the output of the models, then we can go back and reinforce the bias or diminish the bias. So people are still trying to put guardrails around different models in order to minimize the risks. Okay. You will have, again, 4 forums where you're going to post your challenge annotation. You're going to post your personal bias audit. and then you're going to comment about the paper on gender shades. And also, you will see now that these papers are discussing a little bit different point of view compared to the papers we saw in module 2, the one by Bender and the one by Way. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this activity. Is going to be um, more in-depth reading, and you are allowed to use Notebook LM if you prefer, but just be careful of the outputs. And these are the two papers you're going to be reading: Gender Shades by Bulawini, and also The Dangers of Stochastic Parrots by Bender. Okay, and then you have the usual 4 tasks, and I hope you enjoyed the readings. Okay, and then you have the participation in the forums, and also the way you're going to be engaging with other people's discussions. And this is the rubric as usual. And remember, at the end, update your progress in the participants progress page. And that's it. Questions?
Yeah, are you gonna post the slides for this week?
Yes, I'm going to post the slides and also the video once we finish. It's going to be, as usual, here, the slides and the module. Okay. Any questions? Everything is clear? Well, okay. Okay, anyone still having problems with GitHub? We can set up office hours, or I can try to help you get up into speed.
Carlos, what's the best way to schedule office hours? Send you an email, send you a calendar request. What's the best way?
An email will do, and then we can
Thank you.
set up a short uh, Zoom meeting. Yeah, anyone that needs some help in anything, just let me know. And email is the fastest way, and then we can, if I can solve it there, then we can just make a short, brief meeting. Okay. Okay, everyone. So enjoy your week. Welcome to Module 4. And I hope you have enjoyed Module 3. So I'll see you next week, if not in live. Okay. Thank you.
I have a embarrassing question that can wait until you guys. So, which reading talked about Cyborg versus Centaur last week? Because I put both papers into Notebook LM and
Yes.
they did not talk about them.
It's in the inside this in the same section. Uh, let me share again.
It's a different paper.
Yes, it was a missing paper.
It's a missing paper. Okay.
Yeah, so
Well,
I put it there.
okay, so this would be module 3.
Let's see, it was here. Let's see, in
Because I
module
think
3.
reading 2. Is
Yeah,
there a
but
reading
just
3?
module 3. I'm sorry, module 3 here in the reading here in the second reading. And then I think, where did I put it?
That's what I'm wondering, because I did my own research to figure out the difference.
Yes, here I think. Here.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait,
So this is
wait, go back. What did you click on?
in the I opened the after reading to. There is a click to expand summary of the jagged technology. Yeah. Yeah, it's just below the infographics. So this is yeah, this was noted by Rupa. Thank you,
Didn't
Rupa.
find.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to locate that, so I emailed Carlos.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes well, and then I just made a summary of the cyborgs and centaurs. Even in the module 4, there are many papers how people make create taxonomies for validating the biases. So
Yeah, I just looked it up myself. So, okay.
okay.